right, back for another Down in the Blocks with my illustrious panel of CY, Chris Young, Mark Dodson, a very sick Jeremy Norquist battling 102-degree temperature. But man,
Wow.
look at him. He's got his hat on. He's got his eagle hat on. He's ready to battle. And we're going to have a tremendous podcast here on a Monday, 2 days following Michigan's crazy 12-point win over Texas A&M. I'm telling you what, guys, the Wolverines were down 10. I was not feeling the love that this was survive and advance. CY, what were your thoughts and what the hell happened? What got into Roddy Gale Jr.?
Well, man, I totally agree with you, man. I was not feeling it also. I was like, man, it's been a good run. Like, we got the Big Ten tournament championship, but okay, that's a wrap for this. And then Wade said something to Roddy Gale. He made a shot and he said something to him, and boy, he pissed off Roddy Gale something serious, and that dude went off. He was doing everything that we expected him to be able to do all season that we had not seen all season. Playing defense, rebounding, dunks, making threes. Like, what is this dude doing? Like, all of a sudden he's making shots. Like, he hasn't made that many threes in the course of a month that he made in the game on Saturday.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. So, Mark Dodson, I want to see if you're going to be critical of the Michigan Wolverines after that win over the Aggies, or are you feeling a little more bullish on your alma mater?
I'm gonna object to the form of the question. No, you come on, man. You got to do better than that.
No, I don't.
All right, then go ahead, Jeremy. I ain't gonna answer that question in the form that it's in.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question then, right now. Is when you look, I mean, CY just mentioned it. They're in the Sweet 16. Do you think this team will be loose against the number 1 seed Auburn Tigers? And what do you see their chances of beating the Auburn?
Did you say, do I think they'll be loose or do I think they'll lose?
No, do you think loose? Loose.
They'll be loose. They've been loose all year. We've been debating whether or not them being loose is how they should be playing. Yeah, they'll be loose. They're playing with house money. At least, it's easy for us fans to say they're playing with house money. These guys, though, they don't want to lose. You can see why I can speak to that. You don't come out there and say, hey, look, I'm happy just to be in the Sweet 16. Mm-hmm. No. I'm happy to be within 10 of Texas A&M at, halfway through the second half. No, they want to win. Clearly, they want to win. Yeah. And clearly, as evidenced by some of the plays that we saw, they're playing. They didn't feel the pressure. They didn't feel the pressure at all. And I'm sorry, this last part was it's in many ways. I'm looking at this game like I looked at Texas A&M. You got a lot of pundits to talk about what they want to talk about, and I think Michigan, Jeremy, Michigan is what now? What's the spread? Is it 8, 9?
7.5, I think.
7.5. Yeah.
All right, 7.5. That's pretty significant, at least according to Vegas. Yeah. I didn't know. I never watched much of Texas A&M this year, so I had to buy into the hype. I've watched Auburn a few times, and clearly they've been hyped all year. Mm-hmm. I would suppose there's some legitimacy to that. I'd feel comfortable coming to this game if I'm Michigan, especially if they keep playing. I still don't think the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, Michigan has played the best ball. They played the best ball they played all year. Now, if they can play, I don't think Michigan has played their best game yet.
No, they haven't played a complete game yet. I mean,
I think they got a complete game in them. They play a complete game. We'll find out how good Auburn is.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, this is amazing though what they're doing with this limited.
Jeremy, we saw the portal. The portal opened at 9:00 this morning. 500 kids are in the transfer portal, including Michigan's Justin Pippen, which answers all that question of like, what the hell is going on with Pippen? Yeah. But LJ Kaysen, wow, this kid, he started out, you talked about the Cleveland State game, looked pretty good, and then all of a sudden he disappeared in January, and now, man, I know Roddy Gale Jr. got all the all the hype after this game, but man, LJ was phenomenal in his aggressiveness to the hoop, defending the whole bit. What were your thoughts on LJ?
I mean, he was the spark plug of spark plugs. Like he plays his ass off. He battles, and that's all you can. I mean, you say freshman, but I mean he's not a freshman anymore. But he has had limited time, and so for him to come out and play like that, I give that young kid a lot of credit. And at one point, I was like, they just need to get him the rock and let him cook.
Yeah.
Because that's what was happening. And, on another side note, the fact that Wade Taylor didn't show up for the first half really helped Michigan also.
That you mentioned that in the last podcast as being that X factor. Chris, I'm thinking, and you've been to NCAA tournament games, but this is a strange setup we have down in Atlanta. We have two Big Ten teams, one from the same state, Michigan State, going against two SEC teams. Okay. Now, it's going to be interesting. In game one, when Michigan State is playing Ole Miss, what will the Michigan fans do? How will they...
I've already jokingly talked with my wife about it because I'm down in Chattanooga right now, and we're working on getting tickets for Friday. And if you buy tickets for Friday, you go to both games. I was telling her, I'm like, man, I got to dig up an Ole Miss shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, and then on the backside of that, if Michigan State wins, obviously their fans will stay around and try to antagonize.
Oh yeah, they're going to hang out and boo the crap out of Michigan. Yeah.
Or think about this element. You think Michigan State would rather play Michigan than Auburn? And will they cheer for? No, you don't. What are your thoughts on that?
Overall, I think Michigan State fans would much rather watch Auburn absolutely dump truck Michigan because they think they think they can beat Auburn. Beating a team 3 times in one season, like if we get another rematch with Sparty on Sunday, like that is hard. I don't care what you did the previous 2 games, man. That is a very difficult thing to do, is beat a team 3 times.
Wow. So Jeremy, would you give Michigan the advantage over Michigan State if they play next Sunday?
I think it's a coin toss. I don't know if it's an advantage or disadvantage, regardless of what Vegas says. I think it's just 40 minutes of hell.
How about you?
I don't really disagree with CY, but it is hard to beat them 3 times. But if you're going to ask who I'd give the advantage to, right now I'd give the advantage probably to Michigan State. But again, Michigan State, in my opinion, probably played one of the worst games of the year, and this was another survive and advance. They got super lucky who they were playing.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Mark, what's your opinion about Michigan State? I mean, you live with stones like me, just stone's throw from campus, and we keep an eye on the rival. I mean, do you think Michigan will beat Michigan State if they play next Sunday? What do you think would happen in that game?
Something would have to be different for Michigan to beat them. I don't know necessarily what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think Michigan State's good. Oh, sure, right there. I think Michigan State does what they do well.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a ridiculously talented team. They got some guys. They just play hard.
They play hard.
They play hard, and you gotta respect teams that play hard. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're eminently talented. I don't. They got some guys on that team that can play and play roles. That I don't know, man. Michigan has to play better against Michigan State than they have the last 2 times.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And they're capable of doing that.
Yeah, they're not as deep. Michigan State's very deep, and what happens with Michigan State, they wear you down in the second half, and let's focus more for Chris. Let's go back to the Auburn game. First things first. I mean, what's Michigan got to do to beat Auburn?
Ooh.
I mean, we've been saying it all year. I sound like a broken record. They got to take care of the ball. They got to stop. They finally stopped doing that pre-switching stuff. They switched. They had to, as opposed to like, oh, a guy's just cutting through. Let's just switch and then switch back whenever we can. And they got to rebound the ball. They got to just absolutely dominate the defensive glass. They can't give up any offensive rebounds. Auburn wants to crash the boards, get all these putbacks, dunks, and all this stuff. Like they have to limit all that. And then we got to get out and run. I don't think we run enough. I think we really got to try and push the tempo. I think Trey's got to get out there and push the tempo. Vlad's got to get out there. He's got to get a dunk in transition. Like, we got to get out and run a little bit.
Jeremy, Namari Burnett had 12 minutes and 26 seconds, no points. I mean, this was the strangest game for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think Dusty just said, okay, we're going with LJ, the hot hand, and we'll sit Namari for a while and see how this rolls? Weren't you surprised by that?
I mean, not the way LJ Kazin was playing.
Right.
I mean, why would you sit his ass? Like, you're like, listen, young man, go get him. Go get him. If you're playing that hard, Namari Burnett I was watching him. Like, I mean, he was playing. I mean, that's how he plays. I'm not dismissing him, but he was just going through. I don't want to say going through the motions.
He was playing the way he normally plays, but
right.
It wasn't anything that was going to put them over the top like LJ's play was.
That's
right.
true.
And I want to say something about the Auburn game. I think the pick to click for Michigan, and this is going to be weird, is Will Cheddar. Yeah. Because of Broom and the big fella down for Auburn. I think Will Cheddar's going to have to get in and battle because Danny Wolf is not made like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Mark, the Big Ten, boy, they jump out 10-0, and then it didn't surprise. Illinois surprised me a little bit. They were actually favored to beat Kentucky. What was the biggest of the Big Ten teams? I mean, Oregon battled last night, and they lost.
I was actually impressed with Oregon. I haven't really watched them all. They got some talent on that team. I don't know how much they got returning. Maybe you guys can speak to that more than I don't. I was they were balling, man, and I never appreciate the ballers in them until yesterday.
Yeah,
Kentucky. Wait a minute, Illinois was favored over Kentucky.
Yeah,
1.5.
by 2.5 or 1.5, something like that. Crazy.
Yep.
Hey man, I'll tell you, there are a couple of teams, Oregon being one, that showed me something I didn't know they had. BYU showed me something I had no idea they had.
Oh yeah.
Arkansas showed me something I probably should have known they had, but they were really impressive.
They were.
I've always liked Kentucky. And I like Pope and what he's doing there. Colorado State ballers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm talking about teams that can really play ball, man.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, I thought Texas A&M would be a little bit better. They were undisciplined. I can kind of see now why the fans there aren't necessarily satisfied with Buzz.
Yeah.
Purdue is showing up.
They are.
They're showing up. I wouldn't necessarily want to play those guys. So that's the kind of team you might come in and say, we can beat those dudes. And then you get out there and you play against them and you say, oh, you know what? Maybe they're a little tougher than I thought they were. Illinois, man, I still don't know what to think of Maryland. I they got some individuals. I don't know how good of a team they are.
Yeah, I don't think they're a good team at all. I think, like you said, there are a bunch of individuals out there that just some nights one of them is going to go for 25, and they're just going to figure out how to win these games.
Yeah,
Derek Queen move was pretty impressive down the stretch, but now they got to go to San Francisco. I mean, Florida and Maryland go all the way to San Francisco for a regional. I mean, it's crazy the way this stuff was laid out.
Well,
do you think Derek Queen's going to be allowed to take 4 steps again?
Oh man, that wasn't a wall. That was legit.
So
not in this day and time, but
why? That was not where does this walk come from? I didn't
there was a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump, a gather, and then it's 2 steps. It's fine. It's just what the game's evolved into.
Well, and a referee and CY knows this. 5 seconds left. They're going to let you mug them, and they're not coming out with anything, and they're going to let you walk.
Yeah, they're not making that call to stop you from going to the bucket like that. I mean, if you get absolutely just taken out, then they'll call it. But the refs aren't doing that anymore. They don't want to be the ones that are just ridiculed for months on end because they blew the whistle and cost someone a game like that.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. So CY, were you surprised that Wisconsin fell to BYU? in that
Yeah,
game.
like Dot said, I mean, I BYU losing to VCU in the first round. Like
I did too.
saw them play one time real early, like in January, and I was very unimpressed. And I was just like, I don't necessarily see anything. I mean, and they come out and they win. You know, their best player gets, you know, a flagrant 2 and gets kicked out of the game with like 4 or 5 minutes to go for elbowing a dude in the nuts. Like, I mean, and they still figure out a way to win it. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
How about John Tange?
He's a flat out dude. You know, and John Tanji, where did he go? He went Colorado State and then Mizzou and then here. I mean, I think about this transfer portal thing, and we just talked about that. Everybody opened it up this morning.
Why, Tom? Maybe you can answer this. Why the hell did they open it this morning? Why did they open it this morning? Why not wait 2 weeks? Wait until after the national championship and then open them.
Yeah. So my point is, look at Kentucky. We just talked about Kentucky. They had 11. They have 3 incoming freshmen and then all transfers. Look at what Dusty did at Michigan. 2 roll holdovers from the previous team. It's insane. Look at Arkansas. I mean, it's like every year, Chris, is going to be, okay, who's on your team this year? Who's on your team? Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, the only team you know for sure where a majority of the guys are coming back is Michigan State, because just Izzo just does not hit the portal like that. And guys just don't leave Michigan State while Izzo's there. You know, but everybody else, it's like, man, you got to start learning a whole new roster, because you don't know what these guys are all about. You got to start researching them from other schools and all that, because it's going to be totally new teams year on year. And now there's coaches coming out saying, man, we're not even recruiting high school kids anymore. We're not even going to deal with that nonsense of all that. We're just going to go find kids out of the portal.
Well,
which is so sad.
All the coaches are using, when they lose, their post-game platform to complain about it. And I understand. Hey, Mark, what would you do? You know, coaches, you know, they're on a contract. They have to take a hit if they're going to leave. Players are free to go. What would you do, Mark Dodson, to reconstruct the portal situation to make it more equitable, you know, for the teams and not be victimized?
If I'm who?
If you're whoever the body, the
NCAA can't do nothing.
Well, then what? Who's holding? Who is the governing body on all this stuff?
NCAA.
No, yeah, but nobody. Yeah, nobody. It's a lot. You can do and say whatever the hell you want.
It's just hurt mid-major.
I think what the portal should be. What the portal should be, in my opinion, is you get to transfer once. You get to just go and leave whenever.
One time. That's top on 2016. Yep.
One time you get to do that. Or if there's a coaching change at wherever you're at, then you can go somewhere else also. But otherwise, that's it. You don't get to you can't play at 4 different places in 4 years. Like, I just don't think that's, you know, I don't think that's what the portal was meant to be.
And you can tell mid majors, the Cinderellas are done.
Oh yeah,
done.
Yeah.
Like
all the Power Fours are in. I mean, you got 16 teams that are off Power 4 conferences. You're right. It's done.
There's no Cinderella. It's like, man, let's watch this Loyola Chicago team and see what they're going to do. Like, that's just, those days are long gone, because all those best players will get poached. Anybody that wins 1 or 2 games in the tournament this year, it's like, man, those guys are gone. You know, their coach is getting a Big Ten job, and he's taking all the players with him, and
Yeah. And coaches, Colorado State coach going to Minnesota right now.
Yeah.
You know, he's heading off there. I mean, I think that this year's a defining moment when you're just going to get the blue bloods, you know, in the hunt. And that's pretty much what it is right now. Although, you know, I don't know I'm not sure who the Cinderella would be, maybe Arkansas, but, you know, they have a Hall of Fame coach leading that. So, I mean, it will be interesting. Any final thoughts to wrap up the podcast? Any topics you guys want to bring up before we wrap it up? And then we'll be talking again, obviously, next Saturday. Following.
I mean, my biggest thing is the Justin Pippen thing.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell happened between now and last week that all of a sudden you hit the portal on you know, the morning that it opens? You can't stick with your team for another week. You can't stick with your team for another possible 2 weeks.
Oh no, he left. He clearly checked out a while ago.
Oh, for sure. But like,
so it ain't been something that happened over the last week or 2 weeks.
But at least last week he was getting some burn. Like, he was playing. Like,
you mean 2 or 3 weeks ago? That wasn't burn. Look,
Yeah, but I mean, he was at least in the rotation.
When you he was on the outside, right? He's on the outside of the rotation. He was rotating in when there wasn't when there wasn't nobody else left in the rotation to really throw out there.
Yeah.
He look, man, when you coach May, and your phone is ringing at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you saying, "Who is this?" Yeah, Scottie Pippen. Yep. He ain't playing because he ain't that good. Call me back when he gets better. Later. Hey man, that's it.
Yeah. He's like Bronny James all over again. You know,
I don't know about that, but the reason why he left is because he wasn't playing.
Oh yeah, no, I get it, but it's like, why now? Like, why day one? Like, you can't stick with your dudes that you went through like preseason training camp with and all that. You're just like, man, fuck it.
That's not the culture of college basketball anymore.
Anymore. It's about look, man. He gets in there now. He can start taking bids.
Oh yeah.
He can start he can commit to a team while they still got money. Mm-hmm. Instead of them waiting on these other folks coming in there later where his spot might be gone. So right now he's in there saying, look, let me see who will give me some money right now where I can go. Yeah, that's it. And Chris, no loyalty, man.
I know that. I was just surprised to see it like with a team that's still in the hunt. Like
no, it ain't no. You got cats that were negotiating deals while they're still playing games.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. This is all about me. This is all about me right now. Mm-hmm. And I can't even imagine being a coach. I don't know.
Well, that's why all the big names are getting out of it. That's why we're losing all these legend coaches, because they're just like, man, I'm sick of dealing with this nonsense.
Yeah, but here's the problem. See, the problem is that you talk about the kids doing it, but the coaches are doing it too. They're negotiating, and it's like, this is nuts. Yeah. Like 2 days later, oh, by the way, Sean Miller, you were coaching against Texas. Now you're the coach of Texas.
Life incarnate. These guys have had all this baggage. It's like Will Wade. All these cats, they just reinvent themselves. Yeah. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is amazing.
Yeah. And Wade and I bet you Chris Beard's he's gonna land a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Who do you think is that Nova? What would you guys rank that Nova job?
That's pretty high.
That's a good quality job.
Who's gonna get that job then?
They talked about a D2 guy.
Yeah, I'm saying I can't reconcile. It's a pretty high quality job with we haven't been able to fill it yet.
I know
that's true.
Because I don't know who else is out there that you would consider to be a guy that might be really good and ready to move. Who?
Right.
Yeah. Who? Yeah. And it's not like you're waiting for. Now it's not like these guys are leaving to go to Villanova.
Yeah. Who is that?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like they're waiting till after the Sweet 16 because this coach who's coaching in the Sweet 16 is going to be available and leave to go to Villanova. So I don't know who that's going to be.
Hey, all that matters to me is Dusty May is at Michigan, and I'm really happy with that. And that's how we're going to leave it.
Man.
Michigan State's got their guy forever.
Dusty.
And
Dusty.
All right, guys, great job, and hey, we'll have a great rest of the week. You get healthy, Jeremy Norquist.
Hey, you're doing great, Tom. We're praying for you. We're proud of you. You're killing it, brother.
All right, Tom. Yeah. All right, till next time. Here, down the blocks. Have a great week, folks.
Yeah, you too.